Hello creative friends, welcome to this little video that I thought I'd put together because we are talking about greeting cards a lot in this season and I am working on my wholesale distribution, I guess. So I thought I would put together a list of places that I look for wholesale opportunities for greeting cards that maybe you haven't thought of. So a little bit of context and background, my wholesale business for my greeting cards is still kind of young. I've only been doing it for about a year, but if you have watched my channel and know kind of my entrepreneur backstory, I started my family sea salt company about 7 years ago, and we've been doing wholesale there for almost the whole time. So I do have a couple years of wholesale experience under my belt. So this is not super new, but it is like anytime you're doing a different kind of product, it is a bit of a learning curve. So yeah, so I'm still kind of figuring it out for the stationery paper goods category. So this is just going to be me sharing my list. I have it here on my iPad to tell you all my ideas. I am looking more at like locally run or small businesses rather than big chains. I have two main reasons for this. One is because the big chains like grocery stores and drugstores, which are the main places to buy cards around here, often work with distributors rather than directly from the makers. So I'm not really interested in going the distributor route right now. And these places also will often require you to have barcodes on your products. And from what I can tell, getting barcodes just seems like a really big pain. Maybe one day I'll do it, but it does. I don't know about that. So I don't have barcodes on my products, and therefore I'm not looking for opportunities that require that. In terms of my overall wholesale approach, that's not really the point of this video, but if you want to know more about how I do contact stores and all that, I'd be happy to make another video about that. So just let me know in the comments. But basically the way that I do it, just really briefly, is I will either go in person and get the information for the buyer or whoever orders products for the stores, or I will just go on their website and look for that information, or just send a contact email to get started finding the right person to talk to. Then I'll send them my catalog and we'll go from there. Right now I'm only looking for businesses that are local and easy for me to reach. I'm basically within my province. I'm in Nova Scotia. But I'm thinking that next year I might reach out to people in Ontario as well, because I'm in Toronto a couple times a year. So that might be a good bigger step for me. So right now I'm just looking for local places. Okay, so here's my list of ideas. Bear with me, some of them maybe are a bit of a stretch and some maybe are really obvious. So I'm just trying to cover, I don't know, I have a dozen or so places here. So first place I look is obviously stationery and gift shops. That seems very obvious, but the way that I approach this is I think about if I had to go buy a birthday gift for somebody, and not someone maybe I don't know super well. So maybe I don't mean someone you don't know super well, but someone who is hard to buy gifts for. So for example, one of my aunts or something, I would probably go to a local gift shop to look for something from a local artist, and then I would get a card while I was there. So that's the process I used to think about what small businesses should I target for that. Beyond that, second is tourist destinations and shops. So if you are near a major tourist attraction or city, then there's probably some little gift shops there that tourists like to go to. Also, I totally recognize that I say tourists with a kind of a weird accent. I'm not sure why I say it that way. I'm just a Halifax girly, so just let me say tourist weird. Now, some gift shops I do find have pretty exclusively imported goods, things imported from China, which I mean, that's whatever, that's fine, but they often aren't buying more from local makers, versus some gift shops are exclusively focused on handmade things. So you kind of want to gauge what kind of shop it is when you go in. Adjacent to tourist destinations are historical sites and experiences. These places often have a little shop around where you buy tickets, maybe it's a counter and they might have a rack of cards or postcards. And they typically, in my experience, having regional offerings, so art cards that have local landmarks and things along that line. For example, near me there is a historical reenactment farm. They do a lot of stuff for locals as well as tourists, and birthday parties happen there too. So there's few different types of demographics that would be stumbling upon that spot. Another idea is hospital gift shops. So most hospitals will have a little shop in them. Oftentimes they do sell cards as well as other paper goods. And in my experience, these little shops are usually managed by a single person. So if you can go in and get their contact info, that is kind of how you would reach out to them. And I think very particular greeting cards would do well here, like the get well soon, congratulations, and maybe condolence. I'm not totally sure. But I think even birthday cards would work well because there are going to be some people who are just in the hospital a long time and their birthday might happen, and that might be just a last minute card opportunity for someone. Another idea is university and campus stores. I think this is a good idea. So I don't think of students as buying like cards for each other. I just don't think that's like really a thing that young people do. But they may be buying cards to send to their parents back home, whether it be for their birthday or anniversary or another occasion. But another opportunity here is to have congratulations and graduation cards, because oftentimes people will be, I'll just speak from personal experience that like when I was graduating from school, my parents would like to buy me like a nice hoodie or something from the campus store to remember my time there, and the card opportunity is there as well. More broadly, I would say bookstores are another opportunity. Most of them do have like a section of stationery and paper goods. Occasionally you'll find a bookstore that's very strictly just books, but usually there is a stationery section as well. I would probably visit in person if you can. I'm talking more about independent bookstores than chains here, again, because you would have this sort of distribution or distributor requirement. So you could visit in person or check out their website or socials just to see if local products or stationery is a thing that they might carry. Another idea is art gallery shops. So art galleries and museums usually do have a gift shop, or again, like at least a section by where you buy your tickets or anything that has a rack of something. Some of these places will only have stationery with images of like art they have on display, but some types of galleries will also have just like things by local artists. It really depends on the kind of place, but it's worth looking into. And that's, I think, a very good idea if your cards are more artistic, like if they're cards of your paintings or something just more of an art card. Another idea is coffee shops and cafes. A lot of these places will have little areas for local products right around the cash, or like a little area on the counter. Not all of them do, but the one in my neighborhood does. I think this is a good idea to target these locations only if you are also part of that neighborhood. I think that sort of really super local partnership is what's appealing about it. I don't think I would feel comfortable going to a coffee shop in like, 2 hours away and being like, represent my stuff. But that's just me, and maybe you are just braver than I am. I also think that this might be a nice place to sell notebooks and pens. I don't know if it's just me, but like I go to coffee shops to use my notebooks and pens, and I am a collector of them, so maybe there's a bigger stationery opportunity here. Another idea is craft or art supply stores. Again, thinking of like the more independent ones. Sometimes these places do have cards or stationery for sale, but imagine that you are going in there to buy the materials to make a present for somebody. Maybe I'm going in there to buy yarn to knit a plushie, or do you knit? No, you crochet them. But and then buying the card would go with it, just kind of a full service, full package opportunity. The card might finish off the present, is what I'm trying to say. Same kind of vein, florists and garden centers. Florists might be a little obvious. People buy flowers for so many occasions, and you can pair up the different flower giving occasions with cards that you've designed. But garden centers are a good idea too, because often they will have, at least the ones I've been to, like quite a large like homewares section, whether that be for like outdoor decor or houseplants, but these are very giftable things. People also give gift cards for garden centers, as far as I'm aware, as like housewarming gift, or I don't know, birthday presents for people who like to garden. So that's another opportunity. Likewise, chocolate shops and gourmet food shops. I think these places, like chocolate shops, are a little bit obvious, but gourmet food shops often have higher ticket food products that are like, imagine a really high quality bottle of olive oil or a box set of local jams. These are just like giftable foods that, again, people might target the high-end food shops when looking for gifts, and therefore you could put a card on it. Sort of a weird adjacent one is pet stores, and I added this because I was thinking about places I go to buy gifts, and I do buy gifts for people's dogs. Not that dogs need cards, but sometimes it's a good place to go to buy a gift for a new pet. So you can have a new pet. Congrats on like a new baby card, but for dogs or cats or other. And you can also do like pet birthdays. I know that's extremely millennial of me, but like sometimes you just want to celebrate your dog's birthday, and that's fine. I would happily go to a dog birthday party if invited, and I would bring them a card and a present. So maybe that's a little bit weird, but yeah, if there's a small, maybe not small, but like local pet store near you, they might want to have pet cards, or even just blank cards that have illustrations of popular breeds of dogs or cat types. Could be cute. And the last idea I had was hotel lobbies and hotel gift shops. Because a lot of special events happen at hotels. So you obviously have the visiting tourist demographic, but also you have like people who maybe are doing a weekend away for a birthday or an anniversary or a retirement party. If they do have some sort of opportunity for a card rack, you could cover like different celebrations that might be happening at a hotel, but also the tourist demographic. So there's a little bit of both. Okay, so that was my list. I know that's not super long, but at the end of the day, there's only so many places maybe you can sell a card, but I'm sure that there are some that I haven't thought of that maybe you did. So please do leave them in the comments, both for my benefit and for the benefit of our other people here. Other things about greeting cards, I do make all my cards in-house, so I print them myself. If you want to know the materials that I use, I have lots of other videos on it, but I will link the shopping list, or I don't remember what it's called. I have a link with all the products that I use, from paper to printers to packaging. I'll put that in the video description in case you're curious. And also I have a course on how to design and sell printable greeting cards that is in my YouTube membership. So if you're curious about that, or like you run a greeting card business and maybe you want to add on a printable sideline, which is a cool idea, I have that as well. You can find that full-length class about that. It will be linked again in the video description, or if you go on my channel under the membership tab, there's more info there. That class is also on Skillshare, which again, I'll link it for you. So I think that's everything. Any more questions about greeting cards? I'm always happy to chat cards, so just leave a comment if you can. And thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate you being here, and good luck with your card wholesaling if you're diving in.